Donald Trump Jr. wasn't the only one in that meeting with the Russian lawyer. We now know his brother-in-law, Jared Kushner, now a senior advisor, and campaign chairman Paul Manafort were also there. And late today, the Russian lawyer who was in that room appearing before the cameras. Our team in Moscow was there when she emerged from her office. And here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, tonight.
The big question tonight is, what did the president know about the meeting here at Trump Tower, and when did he know it? The White House says he only became aware of it a few days ago. But we now know more about the Russian lawyer, Natalia Veselnitskaya, well connected to the Kremlin and a familiar figure in Washington lobbying against Russian sanctions. Here she is at a congressional hearing last June. She flew in specially from Moscow to meet with Trump's inner circle on the 25th floor of Trump Tower, one floor below the office of Donald Trump Sr. Democrats in Congress tonight are asking, how could he not know what was going on? Especially since the meeting was set up by people working for a Russian billionaire who was a former business partner of Trump's, and also close to Vladimir Putin. Tonight in Moscow, the lawyer, Veselnitskaya, denied her purpose was to provide compromising information on Hillary Clinton. No, this is not true, she said. Further claiming she didn't even know if Donald Trump was a candidate for president then. She says presidential son-in-law, Jared Kushner, left the meeting after only about 10 minutes, and that campaign chairman Paul Manafort spent most of the time looking at his phone. She insists the campaign was not on her mind, telling reporters tonight, I'm not interested in politics.
Brian Ross with us live tonight across from Trump Tower. And Brian, that Russian lawyer insists that she did not come to Trump Tower here in New York to deliver damaging information about Hillary Clinton?
That's right, David. She says she came primarily to talk about the adoption of Russian children. And that was Donald Jr.'s first explanation, too. But then he quickly changed the story, saying she told him she did have information about Hillary Clinton. And now tonight with the emails, yet another version of what was on the agenda here. David?
Our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, tonight. Brian, thank you. We know the special counsel, Robert Mueller, is investigating any possible collusion between members of the Trump campaign and Russia. So what does this prove today? I want to bring in ABC's chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. And Dan, first, campaigns always try to get opposition research on their opponent. But bottom line here for folks watching at home, why is this far different?
Because it's presumably from the Russian government, and it is illegal for a foreign national or foreign government to be contributing directly or indirectly to our campaigns. But remember, as a legal matter, Donald Trump Jr. doesn't need to have received anything to make it potentially criminal. He could have just solicited, requested, asked for it, knowing it's coming from the Russian government, but it has to be something of value.
Of value, you say that. What does that mean?
Well, look, the Federal Election Commission has interpreted that pretty broadly. They've said, for example, polling data could be something of value. It doesn't need to be monetary, but that would be the big legal question if it ever got to that point.
A lot of people watching are going to say, listen, you hear someone has dirt on your opponent, I'd look at it too. But this is different, and it's happened before. What do you do?
Yeah, you go to the FBI. You know, in 2000, Al Gore's team received a briefing book from the Bush team. What did they do? They went to the FBI. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, but remember, there's always a distinction between wrong and criminal, and that's going to be the key question.
That'll be the debate going forward. Dan Abrams with us tonight as well.